Alrighty. Another new instance report, deprecated features. George?
That's the one we hinted at earlier. Yeah, Deprecated Features is a really fun report because it just shows you everything that Microsoft has put on a list of they may or may not support it in the near future.
You know, that's an interesting way of saying it because, I mean, if you just heard deprecated features and you really didn't know what that meant, you might think, well, these are features that don't work in SQL Server, the current version. But the fact is they work. It's just that Microsoft has announced that they're going away. And some of them might not work as optimally as the alternative.
And some of them are deprecated and they don't necessarily have a replacement for it, or they don't intend on having a replacement for it. So,
so why don't
a lot of things that you may need to do if you have deprecated features in your database.
Yep. Now, in kind of the old school world where you would have a SQL Server running and you might be running the same version of SQL Server for 15 years and never doing updates, it's not suggested, but a lot of people end up running that way. Deprecated features might not be as big of a deal because you're running that same version of SQL Server. But if you're always going to the latest version of SQL Server, or you're running a cloud-based SQL Server like Azure or RDS or something like that, then those deprecated features might sneak up on you and disappear on that next version and you not know it.
The other thing is even with a brand new like 2022 SQL version, a fresh install will have some deprecated features used right out of the box.
This is catching when they're being run. It doesn't necessarily mean it's being run by your code. It might be being run by SQL Server itself internally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, this report came with a new chart type as well instead of database health monitor that you may be seeing to help visualize like how big or how much something's being used over the other ones. So you can see here that sys users, the deprecated feature is being used more. And although you have the usage numbers down below there, the visualization can really help kind of see like what's really spiraling out of control. What are you using too much of when you really shouldn't? And typically the ones that are really spiraling out of control are the ones the user is using, not the features that SQL Server itself is using. So we've seen, we've already used this on a couple of clients and seen some of the deprecated features that have really just, it's almost as if their databases were built on it. And as they upgrade SQL Server, they didn't replace them or may not be able to replace them even.
Yep. Well, I do want to say that over time, we've really overused the pie chart or the half pie chart as we have in Database Health Monitor. And I want to thank you on this one, George, because I'm not looking at another pie chart. This is a better way to represent some of the data. So hopefully we'll see some more of our other pie charts being replaced with better formatted charts in the near future too.